new gadget. We have here Micro Servo 9G Tower Pro SG90. So this is a Servo SG90. It has 3 wires. Orange for the signal output, red for the VCC, and then brown for the ground. We also have this horn. We put the horn here. Then we can also place the screw here. So it can rotate 360 degrees. So it is capable of a revolution or rotation of 360 degrees. What are we going to do now? We're going to make a 360 degrees continuous rotation using this type of servo 360 with Paborikets Arduino Uno microcontroller. So with the help of the microcontroller, we can able to make a continuous 360 degrees rotation, one direction, only just one direction, using this microcontroller. So let us first upload the code for this microcontroller. We now have our circuit. So we have here the servo. Then we're going to connect that to Arduino Uno microcontroller. Since we're done with uploading the code, we're going to use power bank. Here we have this wire for the motor, servo motor. So we're using an external supply for servo motor. Because, why? Because it draws a lot of current. So we need an external supply for the motor. Then for the Arduino, we need this USB supply. We now have this 360 degrees continuous rotation. It is clockwise. So you can see the rotation clockwise and in one direction clockwise. 360 degrees continuous rotation. It is because we're using the code from the Arduino that will make these things work. So we're using a separate supply for the motor and then another supply for the Arduino Uno. We separate the power. We use an external supply because it draws a lot of current. So 100 milliampere or more. So instead of using 5 volts from Arduino, we're using the power bank 5 volts for the supply of this for this servo motor. Now we have this figure 1 servo control 360 degrees rotation using Arduino Uno microcontroller. We are using a servo motor that is already at 360 degrees, capable of rotating 360 degrees. This type of servo motor is different from the other servo motor, phase or positional servo motor. But this is 360 degrees continuous rotation or continuous rotation. It's different from the other type of servo, positional. This one is 360, capable of rotating 360 degrees. So in our circuit, we have the 5 volt supply. This is power bank. The power bank is 5 volts. So you can see here the Arduino Uno microcontroller is connected to the power bank. And then the ground to the ground of the motor. And then also the power of the servo motor connected to the power bank. 5 volts, 5 volts. Why is it that the servo motor we cannot connect the supply 5 volts to the 5 volts of Arduino? Because we have 5 volts also using the pins inside this Arduino. We have also 5 volts on board this Arduino Uno. Why don't we use direct 5 volts from Arduino then to the motor? Why is it that we need to use a separate supply? Because the motor consumes a lot of current. Could be 100 milliampere or ampere or more than. Could be 200, depends on the servo and the pins of the Arduino only has 20 milliampere. And also the board here, it's not enough to supply current to the servo motor. That's why the servo motor needs to use an external supply. So we use this power bank. The positive of the servo connected to the 5 volts of the power bank. not connected to the 5 volts of Arduino. It will damage the board if you're going to connect that directly to the Arduino. And then the negative, which is the brown color, there is a color coding for this servo motor connected to the ground. This ground is also connected to the ground by Arduino and also to the power. And then this supply is red wire. You can see that it's red wire connected to the 5 volts of the, so we need an external supply. What if we're going to connect it directly to the 5 volts external supply? Do you think a servo motor rotates in a continuous rotation of 360 degrees? Do you think it rotates at 360 degrees continuous rotation? If we connect the positive to the 5 volts power bank, then to the ground, it will not. We cannot, or the servo motor, we cannot control the servo motor, the rotation, or the behavior. That's why there is a third pin. We call that signal, a signal pin. That's why we have 3 pins for the servo. And the color is orange color. So this orange color wire is a signal pin. Okay, in should be in, out from the Arduino, into the motor. So the Arduino Uno controls the servo motor just like a transistor. You need to control the base of the transistor. Remember the transistor? Base, collector, emitter. To control the current from collector to emitter, you need to control the base. That's just like this servo motor. Because there is a onboard or internal circuitry inside the servo motor. So this pin controls the servo motor. And using the Arduino code, what is the code? That is my servo dot right 180 degrees. That is the code. Using this code, this Arduino Uno now will output a PWM, just like this one, an on and off signal, train of pulses. So the output here is PWM, pulse width modulation. To control the motor, and pin number 9 is considered to be PWM pin. You can see the icon or the symbol for PWM into the Arduino Uno, just like this. Looks like this. It suggests that it is a PWM pin. So it outputs PWM, pulse width modulation, a train of pulses. To control the servo motor using the code, what is the frequency? To control the servo, we need the frequency of equivalent to 50 Hertz. Okay? 50 Hertz. And to compute to the period, T is the period, equals 1 over F. F is the frequency. So 1 over 50 Hertz, we have period of 20 milliseconds. How can we see where can we see that 50 Hertz and 20 milliseconds? Into the oscilloscope. So to verify this frequency, the frequency of this signal, 50 Hertz and the period of 20 milliampere. If we're going to plot that into the graph, so supposedly this is the PWM. This is on, this is off. So this period, which is the x-axis, is supposedly 20 millisecond. That is the period. Equivalent to the analog electronics of, if this is the analog, 1 cycle. If we're using an analog, 1 hertz cycle per second here. 1 cycle ups and down of the analog signal. But here we're using PWM, on and off, on, off, on, off, on, off. So in one period, T means period, because of the frequency is 50 Hz, we are having this 20 millisecond in one period. But because of our code 180 degrees, we cannot achieve that. We cannot achieve 20 millisecond for the full speed. We call that a full speed counterclockwise, because the motor rotates in a counterclockwise. This motion, rotation. Okay. We're going to see a different PWM here, which is something looks like this. This is the PWM. This is the period, T, period. In one cycle, period. Wherein this PWM is 2.5 millisecond. Which means if our PWM, so our PWM in one cycle is 2.5 millisecond, around I think it's 2.5 millisecond from here to there, 2.5 milliseconds. That is the duty cycle only. Almost I think 10%, because the full period is 20 millisecond divided by 10, or at least this is 10% duty cycle, or this way 10% on. So because of that signal, so it has a continuous signal like this, we can achieve now the counterclockwise rotation of the motor, and it is counterclockwise full speed, because servo, the PWM in 360 degrees servo type, we can only control this speed and the direction using the PWM. So you can see also here, there is in 90 degrees, we have 1.5 millisecond. It is neutral. It means that's the rotation of the motor. Counterclockwise, 0 to 89. And then 91 to 180 degrees, that is in our code, we're only using 91 to 180, or at least 180. That's why we achieve this type of wave, 2.5 millisecond. Let us see that in the oscilloscope. So let us connect the oscilloscope here. We're not using the motor. We're just connecting the oscilloscope between pin 9 of the Arduino and then to the ground. This is the oscilloscope, so that we can see the 20 millisecond. We're going to see the 20 millisecond period, and then the frequency 50 Hertz, period T, 20 millisecond, one cycle, equivalent. And then this 2.5 millisecond, that is the actual waveform for the counterclockwise full speed servo motor. When it rotates counterclockwise at full speed, the PWM signal or the wave or the output is something looks like this. 10% only is the duty cycle, because 10% of the PWM, because we can able to control the width. That is that's why we call that PWM, wherein we can control the pulse width, the width of the pulse, just like this one. If this is 50% duty cycle, 50% on, 50% off, we can control that, the width of the pulse, by using the 180 degrees code, where we are achieving this width only 2.5 millisecond. This one, period, millisecond. So let us see that. Again, we are now have the Arduino Uno connected to the power bank. And then we're just connecting the oscilloscope probe positive to the pin number 9, and then the ground to the ground of Arduino. So we're going to get the PWM created by this Arduino Uno. Let us now powering on the power bank. We can see that in the oscilloscope there. So up here we have the oscilloscope. So you can see there. This is the PWM oscillator. We have this pulse width modulation. If we're going to freeze, and then using the X and Y, that is now one that is 50 hertz, 49.75 hertz, or approximately 50 hertz, and then period is 20.1 millisecond. So from uprising to uprising edge of the wave, we have this period. Period is 20 millisecond with a frequency of 49 hertz. And what is the pulse width of this waveform? So it's only 2.7. It's not 2.5, 2.7 millisecond. That is the duty cycle. You see that the pulse width, the width of the pulse, 2.7 millisecond. Because of that pulse width, that is equivalent to the full speed counterclockwise direction of the motor. So this one up to here is one period, equivalent is 49 up to 50 hertz, period is 20 millisecond. And the pulse width here is just 2.7 millisecond. Duty cycle 12.4%. So the duty cycle of this pulse width, the width of the pulse, is 12.4%. That is now our PWM from the pin 9 of our Arduino Uno.